Hello guys, welcome to module 10 of our course, and in this module we are going to look at this lesson, only one lesson, which is route model binding. So probably this is going to be our last lesson so that we can engage in building a real stuff, something that will combine everything that we have learned and something that will be valuable to the real world. All right, route model binding. So without further ado, let us dive in and see how to perform route model binding. So when I go back to my code here, what route model binding is, what it means is that when you write a function, so let me just do this. Let me go to the home controller first. So inside here, let us say I write a function, public function test, and then inside this function, I'm going to pass a model, and it's going to be type hinted. Type hinted means you are specifying the type of the parameters that go into this to this function. In this case, it is a user model. Sorry, I think we should use profile. That is the one that we have been using since. So let me just change this to be profile, then change this to be profile like this. This function expects a profile model, all right? So anytime we call this function, it expects us to pass a profile model. When I go to my route here and create a new route here, let us call this route test slash. I can be able to pass data directly into the function by simply doing what we call route model binding. And that route model binding implies that I can just pass, you see, this name here that I'm passing to the route should be the same as the name of the parameter that the function expects. So in this case, our function expects a profile model, and the profile model is defined as profile in this case. And when I go now to web.php, this guy here should be profile. This name here should match the same name as in the controller here. So when this happens is anytime we'll be passing a value here. So let me just, anytime we'll be passing a value here, presumably an ID, this ID will convert to be a model, or will convert to be a model of this type here. All right, so anytime I pass an ID here to this route here, and that model, and a model exists in the database which has an ID of this type, then that model will be the one that will be defined here. So I can be able to do something like this here and say, maybe if I want to delete a specific model here, can be able to do something like this, can be able to do something like profile update, without necessarily specifying which profile, but it will just know automatically that anytime I pass an ID here, then the profile model with that ID will be the one which will be deleted, will be the one which will be updated. So let us see an example here and see how we can be able to do this. So I'm going to, if I go to my database here, so in my database here in the table profile, we have this records here, and we have this one record with the ID of 5. All right, so I can say for now, for example, here, when someone passes an ID of 5 to the route, then I want this model that has the ID of 5 to, let us just do this. Let us just DD for now so that you can see how this works. And then I'm going to, this route is test. So if I go to the browser now and I go to /test/5, all right, and then I press enter. Okay, this is throwing an error. This is because I'm using the post method instead of get method here. So let me just pass get method. So, and also I need to change this home controller now to go to the test method here, and then that will be fine. So what I'm going to do here, so if I go to /test/5, enter. So now, as you can see, when I go to this route now, it returns this model here, and if you check closely, you can see that this is the data that it returns. It returns the model with the ID of 5. So that is what basically route model binding is. That anytime I pass an ID here and I call a method here, and this method expects it expects a model, then if these names here, these names that are passed here matches with the one from the route here, it will automatically assume that I want to get the model with a specific ID from the route, and then I can be able to perform anything that I need. So in this case, I can be able to do something like this. I believe we have the name. Let us try this and see. So let us refresh this. So you see, when I point this to the name, it returns only the name for that model, all right? So why is this important? This is important, for example, if you want to delete a specific model from the view, you can only pass the ID and then it will go delete that specific model without necessarily specifying where, clauses, and stuff like that, all right? That is it for route model binding. I believe now you're well prepared for now to take the next module, whereby we'll be working on a real world project and we'll try to build something that can be applied in real world, something simple but something that will try to combine everything that we have learned so far.